Hello everybody and welcome to another reaction video on Peace Beats with Dan Blackwell. Today I'm excited to say we're getting into some more Nightwish, people. This time something a little bit different. It's been requested, Perfume of the Timeless official music video. This is the first Nightwish music video I have done, official music video I've done. And yeah, I think I've got a feeling this is going to show a bit of a different side because I've mostly been doing live stuff and I want to hear more of their studio work. So let's get straight into it and see what this is all about. Straight away, I have to pause it just 30 seconds in to say, like, it sounds like the Horde are coming, like World of Warcraft. Like, I've got a load of orcs are coming where I can hear the drums of war, and they're going to come rolling over the hills any moment on some Kodo beasts and giant wolves. I love this kind of influence of fantasy soundtrack that Nightwish has in their music, and it's still somewhat always a surprise to me when it comes in with this kind of epic soundtrack music, and I absolutely love it, and the way they're bringing it together with metal, like, and shut up, Dan, let's just keep listening. Sorry, I have to pause it there for a moment to talk about this, because I've got a feeling I'm going to be pausing quite a lot through this video, because they're coming with different things that if I leave it to the end, I feel like I'm going to miss them, and I just want to give my first thoughts, first reactions. And another thing that I just love about Nightwish is how philosophically driven they are. I think I really appreciate that there's always some greater message about life and death and everything in between, and history, and it's very all-encompassing, it's very fulfilling, it's very, you come away from a lot of Nightwish music and you come away feeling more philosophized yourself, more kind of realized. And this is a really interesting way to frame this, because I think when it comes to ancestors, we only think back a few generations, don't we? Maybe you get to great-grandparents, maybe you get to great-great, and then you kind of stop there, like, unless you're really into following your family timeline back, but you are the dream of many ancestors. And you have the thousands and thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of ancestors you have. And every generation has hopefully done their best to provide a better life for their children. I was going to say younglings. Children, cubs, whatever. And that's it. Is everybody dreams for their children, their grandchildren, to be happy. So there's so many dreams that have been concentrated down a funnel into creating you. And isn't that just an incredibly powerful sentiment to open up a music video with? Have you ever considered this? Now here's some music. And I've just got no idea where they're going to go from this point. But what a unique and beautiful beginning to a music video. What an inspiring, like, initial thought. I'm just going to pause it for a moment. I said I was going to pause a lot through this. I was wrong because I just got really sucked into that. What I really like about the orchestral instrumentation with Nightwish, with the arrangements kind of around the band setup, excuse me, around the band setup, is they use the full range and dynamic of an orchestra in the way that other bands that utilize orchestral instrumentation don't. Like most bands, like let's say metal bands who are going to use orchestral elements, I guarantee you 90% of the time it's going to be strings and strings alone. Maybe they're going to bring some brass in, get some of that like war kind of deep rumbling tuba kind of sounds coming through, but it's never going to be woodwinds. You're probably never going to hear a clarinet in like a metal track or something like that, or a bassoon, you know. It's generally just strings with a little bit of brass, maybe some piano. But with Nightwish, you really hear everything come through, and at different stages in the way it would in classical music. It's not this like constant domination of everything coming in at once to just like give you this massive wall of noise. It's very well thought out use of the orchestral register around the band, and it just, and when I say the band, I'm talking about what the band is utilizing in terms of traditional band instruments, drums, bass, guitar, right, and vocals. And there's also the choral element to it as well. Like the choral aspects of this track are absolutely beautiful, and the visuals and the story, like there's a lot to it, and it's about evolution and change, and also there's a kind of element of these sort of oddities, isn't there? Like these kind of weird creatures, giant crabs and stuff that sailors were fighting. There's an element of like folklore and mythology in here as well, and they're kind of having fun with it. Like there were bits that were a little, you know, just a little kind of wacky, and that's really cool as well. But it's showing the kind of diversity and the strange creatures that we have on this earth. And I think that where a lot of people, and like I think where a lot of us get confused is because there's nothing really like humans, we seem like an alien on this planet a little bit, and I think that's why there is that kind of separation, or people who don't believe in evolution and stuff like that. They're like, well, we're nothing like anything else here. The closest thing we have alive to us now is like chimpanzees, right? Bonobos, gorillas, orangutans, getting further and further away. And none of them are really like that close. We still look very different, and our, you know, what we're capable of intellectually is vastly different as well. Not saying that all the great apes aren't very intelligent, they are. A whole other story. But there used to be so many other types of kind of humanoid, Homo sapien like cousins and everything, Neanderthals for instance, that we coexisted with, that I think if that was still the case, if there were like 12 other versions of human-like species that were bipedal and could communicate through language and art and things like that, I think the world would be very, very different now if we shared the planet still with similar to humans, you know. It would make us, we would blend, if you kind of had everything alive that was sort of in between a chimp and a human being, you know what I mean? Like all those kind of different stages of evolution and stuff, because we did have this kind of rich society of all these different kinds of human type creatures. The word is escaping me, so let me know in the comments what I'm looking for. But I just think it would have a massive impact on philosophy and religions and all kinds of things if we didn't seem so alone in the animal kingdom. Yeah, that was a bit of a digression, but just, and I hope you know what I mean. If anything I said was like, yeah, I'll clarify in the comments if you're just like, what the hell are you talking about? I'll go away and try and articulate that better.
on their palm. We are because of a million loves. We're the perfume of the timeless, last sighs on a deathbed. We are their air dust on their palm. We are because of a million loves. We're the perfume of the timeless, last sighs of a million loves.
Whoa, I loved the section at the end with the harp and the piano, with the deep piano, with the high harp. Always a very nice combination, creates a lot of drama. Just the cinematography is really something stunning, isn't it? And I think Perfume of the Timeless, my interpretation of this song is, it's all kind of about being one. It's life is this constant exchange of energy that, you know, it's everything's kind of recycling constantly, and what you are made out of is the same matter that the dinosaurs were made out of, and it's all this kind of constantly, you know, constantly moving through all of us. So in essence, we are all kind of stardust, you know, and I think there's a lot of like beauty in that, and it's very humbling, and it also helps connect you to nature and the animal kingdom and just the world and space and time, both past, present, future, just everything. Very all encompassing, you know. And as I said at the beginning, that's what I really love about Nightwish, is their ability to do that, and do it in such a theatrical, it's epic storytelling, isn't it? Like the instrumentation, everything, it's and the dynamics of it, how it rises and falls, and we have these calm sections, then it crescendos into these massive kind of like, just takes you to the top of the mountain and then drops you off, and then you land and you splash and it's quiet, and you know what I mean? It's like you close your eyes and listen to Nightwish and you can go on quite the journey. Yeah, I really loved this one, and keep the requests coming, guys. I really want to check out more. I have a buy me a coffee, and anything at all on that helps, and so you can post a request in there as well. I'll definitely get onto that as well. But you know, any requests, all welcome. I want to hear more. Man, I'm also thinking what I would like to do, because with Nightwish, because I'm doing these kind of first reactions, and I kind of get to listen to it, and often my thoughts, they're fairly surface straight off the bat, you know, because you can't really go into too much of the technicality of something as complex as a Nightwish song on a first listen, and nor should you. I think if you're listening to Nightwish and you're listing out the key changes and the time signatures, which is what I was trying to do when I first started doing this, you're kind of missing the point, I think, and you're kind of missing the enjoyment of it. And with these first reactions, I think it's more for me about just like getting my first impressions, and then I'm thinking what would be cool is to actually kind of do another series that's more of a deep dive analysis into the songs, where I kind of revisit songs which I've heard before and then go into them a little bit more and talk a little bit more about, well, what makes it so epic, what makes it so great, what have they done here, you know, what have they done, and just try and kind of decode some of the marvelous mystery that is the songwriting process of this incredible band, you know. So let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in that as well. Hit subscribe if you enjoy my content, and we have a YouTube membership if you want early access to reaction videos or any videos at all. They're all, you know, starting to roll in now, and it's only $5 a month, about £4 a month, about €4, 40, I don't know. Not much, but I'd love to see you in there. All right, guys, as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Peace and love.